Pull yourself up a chair and join us at the Energy Roundtable.
Welcome to the Energy Roundtable. This is the first week of November. If you think you have a smudge on your screen, it's not a smudge. I'm participating in Movember for the first time and can't grow a mustache. And I will welcome my co-host, as always, who is also participating, but not by growing a mustache, Lisa Katz. Welcome, Lisa.
Yes, thank you very much, Matt. Yes, I am participating in basically walking or running, but in my case, I will be walking it 60 kilometers over the course of November. So,
cool. Excellent. Yeah. Well, all of us are finding our way to support. So let's jump right in. This is a special COP26, COP26. We're not really sure how it's pronounced, but there's a big event going on in Scotland right now where all the world's leaders and brightest minds are solving the world's problems, and they'll come down from the mountain and show us the two tablets and tell us all how it's supposed to be. So today we are going to talk about some of the articles and the stories that are coming out of that, and Lisa's going to kind of walk us through the articles, and then we're going to talk about them. So Lisa, lead us on.
Okay, sounds good. So I've got 4 here. Maybe before I give you the article titles and start into them, I will just kind of start off by reading off a quick, what would you call it, message from the Queen.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, well, she couldn't attend in person like she wanted to, so she put out a video recording last week, and this is what it says. It says, recognize, and I can't put the British accent on, otherwise I would do it. Recognize that the time for words has now moved to the time for action. I, for one, hope that this conference will be one of those rare occasions where everyone will have the chance to rise above the politics of the moment and achieve true statesmanship. History has shown that when nations come together in common cause, there is always room for hope. So if that kind of sets the stage in some ways for some of these articles, there's a lot of change that really is starting to kind of come out of this, which is interesting.
Well, if anybody has perspective on that change, it's her. I mean, all that she has seen at her, older age, she's seen a lot of the change. So
yeah, in 95 years.
95 years, amazing.
I know.
So the perspective is helpful. So that's great. I'm glad you started there.
So I will, the first article is PM Trudeau pledges at COP26 or COP26, however you're pronouncing it. I'll just keep it as COP26 for the purposes of further discussion.
Sure.
And how they might affect Canadians. So this is actually just a really good summary. So all of these articles I have actually pulled, except for actually this one. This one's from CTV News. The rest of them that I'm covering off today are from the Toronto Star. But I like this one just because it shows and talks a little bit about some of the changes that Trudeau spoke about on Monday and Tuesday. So I'll start off at the top, and the first part is the price on pollution. So currently more than 20% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions are covered by a price on carbon. And so Trudeau has basically, through this conference, called for world leaders to come together and triple that figure. And what he said in quotations is, what a strong carbon price does when it's properly designed is actually drive those price signals to the private sector, transform the economy, and support citizens in encouraging them to make better choices. So obviously our current price on carbon sits at about $40. I shouldn't say sits about, it is at $40 per ton. It's set to rise to $170 per ton by 2030. And so there was, I don't know if it's in any of the articles that I'll be covering off today, but I've been sort of reading a whole bunch during the week. And one of the discussions was, there's many countries out there, and almost every country has a different kind of carbon price. So, do we try to kind of, come up with some sort of standard approach for all of the countries to follow? That might be unfair based on the economic status of some countries and so on. But anyways, I'll just stop there. Then the next one is a cap on emissions. So Trudeau promised on Monday a cap on Canadian oil and gas emissions. This is a big line, big headline. An item on the Liberal Party platform during the election campaign. So he has pledged to reduce emissions by 40 to 45% compared to 2005 levels by 2030. So big headline. This kind of falls into one of the other articles, so I'm going to jump around a little bit. I'm doing this somewhat purposely, but The next article is Kenny says PM's emission targets are unrealistic. And really what the article is talking about is that he believes that, first of all, Alberta was not consulted on this, or Premier Jason Kenney was not consulted. And so he is afraid that, it's unrealistic. It's going to be